Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Luke's Seafood and Grill in Davie.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. A little bit of a gray day, a dreary day, a chilly day, a rainy day, but I can't think of a better day than this one to be at Luke's Seafood and Grill, 5511 South University Drive in Davie, right in between Griffin and Sterling Roads. We've got Lubie here on the headset. We've got Luke and Roxy here. I keep begging Roxy to come on the show. And once again, she has rebuffed my entreaties because I think she would be great. A lot of the times, the most shy ones are the best.
Yep.
But meanwhile, I said it's a chilly day. It is literally a chilly day here at Luke's because one of his specials that he's running this week is chili.
Oh, nice.
Not Skyline chili. And I'm really, I guess, disappointed that Jeff DeFars is having some technical difficulties. He's at home today. He is nursing a cold cough. I heard him coughing yesterday. I tried to stay away from him.
Yep.
But that was at Taco Craft. And today he's a little bit on the disabled list. And he's also not able to find a way to get into our intricate I guess it's encrypted now end to end, considering we don't want the government hearing what we say on the show sometimes. But Luke is going to join us. He's got a whole full array of dishes. I've got my birthday moocher hanging around with me, Eric from Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
Who is looking forward to trying Luke's jambalaya for the first time. Now that he's in his 60s, he does need to try everything before time is running out.
Jesus. You're
And
morbid.
so what have we done in the last 24 hours? Well, I'm proud of myself. And again, Defoe's not here. I don't know did he take a walk of life after your morning show?
I don't know. I know he wasn't feeling well on the weather the way it is. I told him to sort of just relax and get better, but you never know with Jeff DeFlores. So
I hope he has some chicken soup or some hot toddies or something that'll nurse him along. But I braved the elements this morning. And again, with my daughter, Natalia is in town because they had this winter storm. I guess
You're a piece of work, boy.
I owe people apologies.
Like, screw
because
FSU. You should have been a Gator. I can't believe they
I
closed
saw-
things down for 40s.
Well, I
Who
thought they
closes
were
down for
a bunch
40s?
of wimps and, like, oh, boo, oh, it's in the 20s. Boo. I went to school in Boston. We had single-digit temperatures. We had snowstorms. We had sleet storms. But we also had equipment to deal with these issues. And I guess in the Deep South, and it was incredible seeing those pictures from New Orleans. Pensacola, I guess, got a record amount of snowfall for the whole state of Florida in its entire recorded history.
Oh, jeez.
Which is something. It was like 5 inches of snow in Pensacola. And in Tallahassee, they ended up getting like 2 or 3 inches, and then it kind of, the weather warmed and it went to sleet. So now they have like a layer of ice on top of some snow, but they did actually get 2 to 3 inches of snow. And the Southerners, they can't even deal with in terms of driving on the road. I mean, you put it in reverse, they hit the brakes, they start, doing fishtailing.
In the rain, let alone snow. That's the one thing I got in defense mode for my school and one of my favorite cities because I called it home for 5 years. And even before you said anything, because I remember you making fun of them, I said, look, I'm sure Syracuse isn't closing down for this weather, but Tallahassee, Florida State, college students that are going to Florida State are not really used to driving in this.
It was funny because I caught your morning show today with Ed Garcia from Texas Roadhouse, and he was saying that, like up in Pensacola, if there's a hurricane approaching, there's still a 2-hour wait list to get into Texas Roadhouse. But with this weather, like 2 days before, everybody is heading for the hills, and everything is closing down because they are freaking out. And I do owe apologies to the officials at Florida State University. You're not pussies. You're actually
Jeez, man.
erring on the side of caution. And so my daughter came into town Monday night, right? Because in advance, they canceled classes on Tuesday.
Yeah, they're just looking out for it.
And Wednesday, which is today, when they actually have nasty weather. And then she got word this morning that they have also canceled classes for Thursday.
Yeah, they got to clear it out.
So once they got the 3 days canceled this week, I said, okay, you made the right move coming down here. I was also lambasting her.
I mean, I would have stayed there because your college is fun. You know, you do like a hurricane party, but
you start
she's in the
drinking
dorms,
and start
so I don't know
slipping
how
around
it is.
and you see what it's like to have icy. My daughter is such a sarsaparilla and she cannot deal.
She didn't want to be there.
Anytime it gets cold, she's like, I can't take it anymore. I gotta come home. And meanwhile, look at this. We got some stuff hitting the table here at Luke's, and he's going to join us in a second. It is very encouraging
Yeah, nice
to
crowd.
see
I love it, especially in the rain and cold.
on a rainy Wednesday.
I guess this is cold. This is
what
cold for South
you
Florida.
consider the in-between time, the gap between lunch and dinner, what's
Dinner,
known
is this
as
dinner? Is that
dinner
what people
or
call it?
supper. People are still streaming in. So Luke is now, knocking out some dupes, as they say, what they call the tickets with the orders on them. And but look, we've got a bowl of chili. It looks nothing like Skyline chili. We've got fish cakes. Can you join us yet? Or are you gonna? He's gonna come in right now.
Right now.
It's the over/under on the number of minutes until I start teasing him about the Dolphins.
Probably right away. I'm going to lay off of it because I appreciate a fan who is loyal and stays true no matter what. I will always root on the Dolphins, but I was born in a house where we're overly critical of our teams, so I am not able to be that kind of a fan. But
There's
do
Roxy.
appreciate
Roxy
that.
going to sit and say hello to the audience?
Doesn't
Come on,
even
at least
respond.
wave to them.
She just
Show me a
goes.
pretty smile. Never. I don't
try.
know. People are just very,
I
very
think I heard
reluctant.
a gentleman
Did somebody
that
chime in?
I've done a show with for nearly 15 years. That is an icon in the South Florida broadcasting scene. And I think
Can
he's
you bring
there.
him in?
I
up.
brought him. Do you want to do?
Look at
I
this,
did the
right
stamp.
on cue.
Well, they just knew it. The two of them have a kismet, I guess.
Doubled in terms of scope. And it's just instead of me and Lubie filling time, we've got Jeff Devo DeForest. Welcome, and most of all, Luke, our sponsor and host today.
Luke.
How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How we doing?
And Devo, how are you? Are you coughing? Are you under the weather, as they say?
I've had this lingering mung. It's come and gone.
I like that
and there.
I love when he calls it mung.
Feeling good yesterday when we were at Taco Craft. Came home and it was a disaster after that.
I heard
today,
you coughing on the
back.
show yesterday. Yeah, I was a little concerned. Mung is one of my it's a great word because when I hear mung, I think of kind of the stuff that forms around my air conditioning vents.
Oh, good Lord.
Sometimes
it's like finding out you have mold in the walls.
Luckily, I've gotten rid of that.
I don't know what's worse, mung or mold?
Mung or mold, I would
both
say
not great.
mildew, mold, mung. It all begins with an M. So does my name, but I am ready to eat some good food here. What do we got going on? First of all,
well, wait a minute.
Happy New Year. Likewise.
Well, hold on, Luke. I think you're going to have to get Mike a spatula for that. I mean, look at that. He's ready to dive in.
I'm so hungry.
What is that in front of you?
We're
only 2 minutes in.
I took a 3.5 mile.
We're only 2 minutes in.
3.5 mile walk of life on the Hollywood Broadwalk with my daughter, who is in town this week because FSU canceled classes.
Oh, do you remember when he was mocking FSU for closing?
Oh, yeah. Pseudo-intellectual Mayo. He knows
award.
more about the weather in Tallahassee.
You see what Luke is running as a special this week. It does not have any spaghetti beneath it.
No,
it
it's chili.
is
Real
chili.
Oh,
Real chili with beans, and I cannot wait to dive in because to me, on this cold day after I braved the elements along.
Are you eating chili with a fork?
No, he has a spoon. He's eating it with a spoon.
Look at this. Look at the cheese pull, as the kids may say. And I'm going to have this cheese all over my face in a second. But Oh, wow.
You got that kick?
Hail Hardy. Oh, there you go.
You're a piece of work, boy. So, hi, Luke. How you doing? We'll let him clean himself off. How are things?
Well, can't complain. We're still here.
Yeah, so how's it been? We haven't, I know the season's in full swing, and I know out west, I always joke that I don't know what you do. The season is a thing, but it feels like it's different than out east. But South Florida is South Florida. How's it been since we've seen you before the holidays?
Business okay. Well, we're doing our thing. Besides this crazy weather we've been getting lately, so can't complain. I put some good food, some good service, and
You can't help but be in a good
you're-
mood.
You're a South Floridian, and I guess you
I don't want to
you're
crush
not
chips.
used to cold weather. Do you dig it when it's like this? Because I enjoy getting to put on like a sweatshirt and a hoodie and long sleeves.
I like the 60s, high 50s, but once you start getting 55, 53, I'm like, whoa,
It's like, yeah, too much. But
I'll pass on that one.
I enjoy it. Well, I'm digging in. Again, I did my 3.5 miles. Did you get a walk in, or you were resting this morning?
Not yet. No, I was feeling kind of lousy after I did a couple of shows this morning, and then I ended up just kind of laying around. But I think I want to give it a shot because I've always been one of these believers that, and it's probably stupid, that you just work your way through this stuff. That if you lay there, it just exacerbates itself, gets worse, or you feel crappy.
Very
So
true.
I'm either gonna, just kill it off all at once by getting out, getting a little exercise, and breathing in some fresh air, or it's going to get so bad that I'll finally get rid of it. So it sort of reaches its climax.
I like
So
that.
I think I win either way. So I'm probably going to hit the streets in the rain here and the cold, but I don't know. It seemed a little colder than usual, even
No,
on a cold day. I mean, it was worse
It's
than yesterday.
raw.
No, it's real cold. I mean, this you can actually even by South Florida standards, as Luke is saying, 60s and 70s is cold. This, like, if you're in another place, like when I was in Paris and it was 50s and rainy, it was cold. So, like, I mean, I think this is standard cold. Now
It's
we
that
are
rain and wind.
the rain and
combination
wind
that makes it
takes it
worse.
to another level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say what they're doing in Pensacola and Tallahassee. That's another level.
Imagine
But
how
I'm-
bewildered those people are. I mean, I guess what? It snowed in Pensacola 10 years ago, but
No,
did it ever snow in Tallahassee when you were there?
See
Blake, Luke?
those pictures from New Orleans and Frank
Tyler,
Brightson's restaurant covered in
Oh, New
snow.
Orleans is-
It's crazy.
got
That was
hammered.
something. Meanwhile, while you guys are being, the Weather Channel, experts, I'm diving into all the food here. I had a bite of the jambalaya, terrific. I had a bite of the chili, much better than Skyline, and because it's real chili. No, I'm sorry. You know what?
Skyline just took a shot.
Even the comparison.
Did I bring up Wendy's while you're at it?
People's favorite with Mayo
It's
comparison.
really
Good food too, and
Oh, yeah,
food.
fast food. Well, yesterday we had the Smash Burger Open Face Taco at Taco Craft. That's better than a Big Mac.
Yeah, but they
actually
said
like
it
that.
first
Yeah.
though.
I like that one.
But,
that's
but
good.
they said when they first brought it out, they told us it will remind you of that. So that
Right.
opens the door. When
And
you
then
do it,
with our
it's
friends
not the
at
same.
Gilbert's, when Richie made that great panko crusted cod sandwich, I said, "Oh, that's much better than a fillet of fish." At McDonald's.
Look at Luke.
I guess maybe I'm setting the bar too low for some
Way
of our
too
great
low.
You just
sponsors.
send out straight bullets.
You're running, and you know how much I love this.
Yes.
I posted about it on
Yes.
the Let's See group. Almost 185,000.
That's amazing.
And I slapped somebody around good this morning. Did you see that one, Defoe?
I noticed lately, I don't know. I mean, have you not been taking your gummies and taking
I
your
did go
marijuana
smoke
card
for a
because
couple days.
you've been hammering people, man.
and I gotta say,
You're back to a time like about a year ago when you had a lot of
beginning.
anxiety creating.
trying to be a
stress in
kinder,
your life.
gentler, but you gotta stay true to yourself.
That I agree with.
There you go.
That tuna lady, you hung around to dry, and then
Well, okay, so
a tipper
I know-
from Tropical Acres blasted this woman. I mean, you
know,
may
Luke
be
has
like
got-
you're in the same category as Rudy Giuliani, and definitely.
I don't know what it is. There was a time, kind of COVID, post-COVID, where I just wanted to be Mr. Nice Guy. I wanted to be nice and never say a bad word about
That
a
was a long time
restaurant.
ago. Long time
Before
ago.
I met you.
Never a bad word about a member. But lately, I've been getting triggered, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, Defoe. I'm just losing my patience with people.
What triggered you?
Um,
Tell us
okay,
the story.
so thank you. And this man has
Look,
enjoyed.
it's not like he's not eating well and eating a lot of great food. That can't be the reason.
So the thing that I hate the most is when I wake up and I start going through the queue in the group, and somebody posts a complaint, not about a restaurant, not about a service charge, but about the admins, and they're saying, "Hey, how come my comment about so and so on that post was removed? I just, and they were saying, I'm just trying to figure out what I did wrong." And the other one that I hate is, how come my post hasn't been approved yet? I put it in there last night. It's like we put in the rules that number one, Post might not get immediately approved because we're busy
You get
and we
backed up.
have
Yeah, you guys get
lives,
backed up.
and sometimes it takes over 24 hours. And if you're looking for a restaurant in the next 3 hours, well,
Do it the
do a
day
little
before.
planning next time.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Very
But
true.
number two, okay, so this woman says, "Why did my comment get removed?"
You say it like that? That's
He does it just like that. Like that's the face I see.
So we have means at our disposal to do some research. And I looked and I saw that she had submitted a comment on another post that was automatically rejected at 1:44 a.m. because we put in some words that basically flags comments and posts and makes it immediately rejected. The word in question was, let's just say, fill in the blank, Daniel Radcliffe's delicious blank. And
Jesus.
that was from Cards Against
Oh,
Humanity. That's a running joke, and Luke has a look on his face that, okay,
Wait, they actually use that word in a Let's Eat post?
no. So the woman, okay, she was rebuking somebody who, commented in the post. It's like, you seem like a real a-hole.
Yeah, but there's other words you
and
can use.
and
Let's
and
Eat's not that
blah
place.
blah blah. So the word a-hole automatically gets
Yeah,
rejected.
Rejected.
So I approve the post, and it's, of course, I jump in first and saying, system shows that you use the word that is not allowed, that we have rules here. One of them is no cursing, and another one is be civil. And I said, it's not very civil to call another member of the group a
Yeah,
blank,
hole. Yeah,
a blank. And I said, pro tips. Number one, read the rules and familiarize
Yeah, your
yourself
response was
with them.
fine. Your response
And
was
number
actually
two,
saying,
was don't get butthurt after you call
yeah, you're
somebody
being
a
mean to
sphincter.
them. Like you're being mean to them, but then you're mad at.
So anyway, this is a long way of saying that we've all had our frustrations with the
Yes.
group.
Yes.
And you'll notice that I'm eating a fritter, and it is
This is
chock full
fantastic.
of shrimp and conch.
Fantastic.
You remember that one?
I remember that one.
Do you- Luke takes it the right way because he understands that in this group,
Goes either way.
any publicity is good publicity because then people.
Facts.
That actually is true. The negative. That's why I think
Facts.
Batch, Luke, and Tropical Acres are like, okay, you'd rather be. Defoe's always almost talked about it's love and hate are the two feelings you want. You don't want indifference.
Yes.
You don't want to be forgotten. So you don't love the negative ones. You don't want to get hammered over and over again. But
I think the ratio is like 30-1.
But
Like,
what's
there's been
good-
30 positives.
Yeah.
One negative for every 30
I
positives
don't
about
mind the
Luke.
negative, but
Be
I
fair.
want to be
mind-
real.
exactly, be fair and be real. Like not everything we do is going to be for everyone.
yeah.
I've known that for a long. I've been in this business way too long.
Yeah.
But
Give us a
to
chance.
that one,
It was just demonstrably untrue. I mean, she said, she called it the worst fritter she's ever had.
I love when
And
they do
then
the
there
worst.
was no meat.
I'm
And
like-
I'm staring at mine right now. I see
Yeah, it's great.
big bits of shrimp, big bits of conch. And that's been my experience
And it
every
has a great
time I'm
flavor,
here. And I'm
yeah.
not the biggest fritter fan, I got to be honest, but I've never heard a bad word about them, and I've never tasted one here that didn't have. Again, using the chunks of shrimp allows you to kind of fill up the space with shrimp, which
Well,
is
there's a lot of fillers in there. There's shrimp. We put some vegetables in there. We put some sweet corn. Like to give it a balance of flavor. So we're not just going for that bland. Just put protein in there and just call it a day.
Yep.
We add some sweet peppers in there. We had a little bit of the chili peppers in there. So we add different stuff. So as you're eating it, you're getting different flavor profiles.
Yes.
That's what we do. We don't want anything, to just be, here's a jambalaya. It's just rice and this. And, we love, we love to play with our flavors.
And the nice part about the
Oh my
group
God.
is that when people sense that something is unfair, a hit job, I don't know what this woman's problem was, but everybody chimes in. Is like, well, it's great there. I love going there.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, and that's what draws people to say, oh wow, either this person is on a different planet or has an axe to grind. And then when people see all the other positive ones, they'll want to come check it out, which is what you should do. And the jambalaya, as I said before, is one of my favorites in
Thank you.
the whole region.
So this chili, it's not only what's interesting. Again, chili, you guys have more of a Defoe and Mayo have more of an understanding palate for things. We grew up saying kick. My wife loves when I say, "Oh, that has a kick." Not everyone understands what the hell that means. But I just feel bad saying spicy because I know spices are a good thing. So I don't know what word you want.
Flavor.
Heat.
It's got flavor.
Heat, I guess. Chili's supposed to have some heat. But one thing I do appreciate and really like about Luke is even things that are supposed to have heat, you don't want it, because sometimes people want it really, really hot, but then you're not. It's not about flavor. Then
Overwhelming
it's just
is
about
not
heat.
exactly, like too much overwhelming. You're not enjoying.
And you can
what
add
we're
more.
trying
You
to
add
make.
Tabasco. You do whatever you
could
want.
ask for hot
Exactly.
sauce. Yeah.
But I
This
always tell
isn't
people
that.
try
This-
it before you add to it.
It
'cause
has the heat, but what I like is, and Deef always talks about
Look
this
at
too
this
when he's
fresh
here.
made chips, right? This is
Well, obviously,
house
I mean,
made.
it's Luke.
Yeah.
The consistency is interesting. Like chili's already thick, but this, a lot of time they put so much meat that's what makes it thick. This, I don't know. I'm not trying to be Mayo, so this is a compliment because I love this on food. But I know sometimes people use this to hide food. The consistency reminds me of a gravy, and that's not. It isn't. It has its own flavor. Doesn't need anything done to it, but it's like a thicker flavor. I'm sorry, consistency with the flavor. It's almost different than other chilies just because it's great. Like I usually do put crackers. I do a bunch of stuff to it.
try
I
to-
wouldn't do anything to that.
You add all the stuff to try to mild it down because it's too hot. So
Yes.
let me just put the crackers so that way the heat
Cools
or the
it off,
kick
yeah.
cools it off a little bit. But with this, some people might think it's too spicy, so we serve it with the chips. So once we get compliment of that,
I'm just
it
sad that
miles it up.
Defo is missing this because I know he's a
He's
real
a big
chili
chili
fan.
fan, yeah.
And instead
Great
of
chili is outstanding. And I would imagine, I mean, just based on everything that I've had at Luke's, this is probably top notch. Very sad to see that ball being sucked down by you two guys. You're not being able to participate because I could go for it right now. I really could. I mean, it looks
and as you say, instead of the no way, which is the preferred, your preferred order at Skyline, here you would have it all the way because he's got the cheese, the
You guys
onions,
are onions, yep.
that's the way to do it. And I don't mind it being on extreme heat, but sometimes it does get so overwhelming that it
not
takes away
enjoyable.
from
And
that.
he's got the red bean. Was it like a kidney bean?
Kidney
right?
beans, correct.
Kidney bean, which I don't know. Are you a bean or no bean?
Beans, definitely
Okay.
meat. Yeah.
Be happy
Yeah,
here.
But I like all kinds of chilies now. I mean, if you made me a good vegetable chili, I'm happy with that. 'Cause, I mean,
we're not
turkey
making
chili,
that
we
up.
know
chili is good.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like a great beef chili. There's nothing like it.
Especially on a day like today.
Yes.
It's perfect. I came
Rainy,
in, I
cold
said,
day.
give me something hot.
No, you actually did. It's so funny. He's like, we have chili, and I thought he was joking just because he knows us and our thing with chili.
I
And
thought,
he's
it,
like, no, I have chili.
I thought it was going to be like a conch chowder or a clam chowder, but no, it's chili today, hot tamale.
Now
No,
we decided because we did clam chowder the past week or two,
Oh, I
right?
missed it.
When it
Thank
was
you.
really, really cold. So
Yeah,
we're like,
no, we've
let's just
had
do
our
chili.
several
It's-
cold
it's good.
snaps, so it's good that you have the soups on rotation. Do you ever do a split pea? Because that's Defoe's favorite.
Sorry,
I think that would be out of the.
I mean, it's not like this.
Maybe a bouillabaisse, but
Right.
Well, you
split
go
piece.
off for
There
it.
you go. That sounds good.
See, now that would be an order that would fit your long-time philosophy that you ordered wrong if you were coming into Luke's.
If I came in here,
I'm going there only for the
no
split pea. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't think. I mean, he probably makes a good one if you ask him.
We'll gladly see them outside.
Luke's Seafood and Grill, 5511 South University Drive. Come on out here. If you live out west, what are you waiting for?
I need you to
Yes,
dig into
you
one of
do.
those crab cakes before you throw in any kind
He's
of.
behaving well. I'll give him credit.
I'm behaving
He's
well.
actually
I've been more
restrained.
Why is he
restrained.
going so slowly? This isn't characteristic.
Good food, good mood is the motto here. And I'm in a great mood today. I'm going to
Yeah.
take a half of one of these fish cakes. I had this. And what are you using this one, Luke?
This one we have grouper, snapper, and mahi.
Grouper,
Ooh.
snapper, and mahi.
That's nice.
So it's a blended fish dip, and it's on a bed of like a
Yuca.
Oh, yuca, like a yuca
pureed
mash.
yuca. It
Wow.
looks like mashed potatoes, and it's what is the sauce?
And we have a pineapple jerk.
No, that's that.
And then we do
Oh,
a little
like a nanga sauce.
onion and pepper relish up top with some champagne vinegar.
Ooh.
So the vinegar kind of cut into the spiciness of the pineapple
I'm
jerk
gonna
sauce.
not big bite it. Did you notice? This is my hidden New Year's resolution: is not to do
You haven't done one in a
big
while.
bites because it's at the advice of all of my
Oh, the doctors
doctors.
really said that. Which is-
It's like the entire the board of directors of the Mayo Clinic. If you assemble the
Mayo Clinic.
the general practitioner, the cardiologist, the urologist, the other various specialists. But here we go.
I feel like you're not that old to have all those. Like Defoe's
Look at
like
me.
15 years your senior, or 16 or 17 years your senior. I don't think he has all those people.
But he's Mayo. Mayo Clinic.
That interior is so good. You got the crunch on the outside. What do you use? A panko? It's
Panko, yeah.
Panko breadcrumb exterior.
Yeah, but it's not oily. Like that's the
No,
other
it's
thing. To get crunch, a
greaseless.
lot of the
It's-
time it gets really oily.
I
Like
could throw this in a paper towel. You wouldn't even see
No.
one little speck of blot. It looks beautifully trained and strained, and the interior is delicious. I
And it's
mean,
a great contrast with the mash.
when I like you, I think that's what it is. You've done this, I guess, before. We have had this because I remember remarking that you can mash. It has a lot of the good of a mashed potato, but a lot of the mashed potato, it's not thick enough for me. Like the yuca gives it a little bit more oomph when it comes to the consistency.
With the structure of it, it holds a little bit better.
you missed a good one today, Defo. That's all I can say, because this fish cake, I'm sure that woman on Let's Eat would say, "This is the weirdest fish cake I've ever had. It's terrible." And you know what? F you,
That
because
sounded like
I'm saying
Carmen
this is
from
the
South Park.
best fish cake that I've had in years. I mean, my mother used to. This is one of those foods that is sometimes can be triggering with the flashbacks, because my mother every Wednesday would make the what was it? The fish sticks, Mrs. Gordon's or somebody's fish sticks.
Gordon's. Yeah,
It was a Mrs. somebody,
I don't
and
know that Mrs.
she
Mrs.
kept missing with her fish sticks because that was not good.
No, those are not
These remind me of a really good high-end elevated fish stick. It's not a stick; it's a round
good. Yeah.
cake, and it's absolutely delicious. It's the best one that I can recall having. You can find it here at Luke's, and don't take it from me. I'm an award-winning food critic.
I thought we all laugh when you say that. It's that fact,
I've got
but
the
we just have to
certificates
laugh.
prove it.
He knows it. That's all that
I
matters.
just like that Luke and I laugh.
And you're
And I'm
talking
sure
about
Devo
why
laughed.
do I need all these doctors? So I have a theory that for every year that you're a food critic, it's like a dog. It's like
Wow.
7 human years. So
Yeah.
I did it for 6 years, 42. So you add 42 my age, that makes me 90 right now. So it's a miracle that I'm still here.
That's great math.
Oh, that's it. I think we're ready for our first
Yes.
break. I might be
Those
ready
fish sticks,
for-
by the way, I mean, they would be in the freezer so long before your
Yep.
mom decided to make them for dinner one night when she had nothing else, and then there was actually like a statute of limitations that had expired on the
Yeah,
box. Even though they
there
were
was
frozen, they were
Gordon's
like frozen
Gloucester.
for 10 years. It was like
Yeah,
10
it was-
million head.
There was 2 major brands at the
Beef was on
neighborhood
fire.
Waldbaums in Brooklyn. It was Mrs. Something's, and then it was the
Mrs. Gordon's, yeah.
There was
Mrs.
a Mrs. Gordon's. Yeah, I didn't know
wasn't there a
Mrs.
Gordon's of Gloucester?
I don't know that one either.
Was it like a family feud? Like Mrs. broke away from
I knew
the
the
fisherman
I knew the
husband?
national
She-
ones with the guy with the beard with the he wore
Yeah,
the
That's
sticker.
Gordon's of Gloucester.
That's Gordon's, yeah.
But Mrs. Gordon's must have,
She-
they
she-
Yeah,
said
it was great, though. The fish was never identified. It was an unidentifiable fish that they used.
DNA testing
Yeah.
has been done.
We weren't hearing grouper or mahi-mahi or,
No, I don't think we'll see like those fish.
All right, let's take our first break.
Ingredients make the difference. Luke will be the first to tell you that. I mean, the
For
great ingredients make
meatballs,
the difference.
instead of talking about fish cakes, meatballs is coming up on my agenda because we
Oh, it's next
have
week.
the Great Red Meat Lovers Club boxing and meatball competition coming up January 29th. I read about it in the Sun Sentinel last Sunday,
but that was
front
really cool.
page, and then it was great. Evan Darnell, Red Meat Lovers Club. It's going to be 6 different local restaurants basically battling it out with meatballs. And then there's also a ring because it's at the Delray Beach Boxing Center where there will be numerous boxing matches. So it's a night of both food and fun. And you could go online to eventbrite.com, just do a search for Red Meat Lovers Club, or go online directly to ribcagebattle.com. I guess Evan didn't change the URL from the ribs last year, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
okay. Ribcagebattle.com. You'll take you to the tickets January 29th, a Wednesday night. I'll be there. He'll be next week. You're
I'll
going to
be
be in Spain
Now be in Spain.
having
Nice.
a siesta. But hopefully
I
Defo
will
will
be
come
a little
out,
jealous,
and it's
to
going to
be
be a
honest.
lot of fun. Some of our great friends, including sponsor Prezzo of Boca Raton and Palm Beach Gardens, they'll be competing. Peter's from Peter's Pizzeria, Peter Izzo, and then of course Sicilian Oven. And who am I forgetting?
388 by
Ah,
Mr.
388
Sal.
Italian by Mr. Sal in Boca. Relative
Windy City Pizza.
Windy City.
Windy City Pizza. That's
They do a
all
great
good. If you're ready for some meatballs and some boxing fun, go online now. Ribcagebattle.com. All right, let's take the first break. Luke, you can stick around a bit.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so it's good to
Yeah, it's
see
a nice
all
little
these
crowd. I love it.
late lunch, early dinner people in here. Makes it, keep the
A little warmer.
sustained flow of great food coming here from Luke's. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward, some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and for the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway, just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima for reservations. All right, we're back on a little bit later edition of a Wednesday Lunchbox from Luke's Seafood and Grill in Davie. It's so easy to find. University Drive, 5511 South University. Right after if you're going south after Griffin, before Sterling, you'll see an auto dealership or two, the Mitsubishi and then the Dodge. And then
Dodge is the one you want to
make
turn
the
around.
right turn before you get to the car wash, and it's right in that shopping mall, right next to all these dealerships. There's also a bowling alley nearby, so
Yes,
you can have
there's.
some late lunch or dinner and then roll a few frames, which is
There you
always
go.
fun. Do you bowl at all, Luke?
I do not.
Okay.
I love bowling.
I only like bowling when they set up those little baby
Oh, the gutters.
the
Oh,
gutters,
Jesus, no.
the blockers, so that you
Bumpers.
can't roll a
The
gutter
bumpers.
ball.
I'm sorry,
a gutter
I
ball.
gave us the bumpers.
I'm a lefty, and I have this natural hook, so every time I
You have
throw
no
a bowling
control.
ball, like I could aim it, like I start totally on the
You
left
go
hand
right in the gutter.
side.
Right in the gutter.
I think you would wrench something on the backswing.
I don't know what
I'm a little worried. I don't know. I used to golf though. I mean, but you were
That's
in
the
shape though.
I broke
Yeah.
in my
Oh, when you
bike
bike,
accident,
yeah.
so I haven't
Ooh.
even tried to bowl since then. If I did, it would probably be painful. So that's my built-in excuse.
I
Instead,
don't doubt that one.
I'll just eat.
Yeah, just come
jambalaya.
here.
All right. Meanwhile, Defo, this is the upset of the day because I.
Oh yeah, you
mentioned
haven't
to
talked Dolphins at
Lubie,
all. Good for you.
How long would it take for me to start not mocking, but just kind of having a post-mortem of the Dolphins season. And here we are all the way into segment number 2. And did you have any particular questions to direct at Luke about either the Hurricanes or Dolphins season as we do the postmortems and look ahead to 2025?
When was the last Dolphin game? That was like a year ago, wasn't it?
Seems
We
like
were here, I think, before, right? The season was still going on. They still had hope. at
there
a
was
playoff spot.
infinitesimal chances that actually was,
I mean, they got
made it.
closer. Actually, they got.
You
closer.
always ask yourself this as a fan or any kind of observer of
He's sitting
sports.
here with the
commentator.
sheepish face, like,
Yeah,
Well,
he
I
was
worried on
stunned
time
that you even brought it
to
up.
avoid this segment, but I didn't finish it in time.
But I mean, as you look at teams that are in the postseason, now getting closer. I mean, we're one game away from 2 teams making it to the Super Bowl, and you try to figure out, so where does my team rate versus these teams and the way they're playing now? And you would have to say it's kind of weak. I mean, if you saw last season, and especially the way it ended, you're thinking, got a lot of work to do in the offseason. I haven't seen much or heard much in the way of philosophical changes. And of course,
Defo.
people
Isn't that every year? We say that every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless you have number 15 that's playing in Kansas City right now,
Yeah.
nothing has
That's
changed.
everybody's
That's
thing.
the thing. It's
Yeah.
like we thought Buffalo might be primed for a little bit of a look.
I mean, they're
fall.
there. They're in the game. I mean,
It's always Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City. And
it's always
Kansas
Kansas
City.
City.
I mean, 7 years in a row
Yeah,
in
that's
a
insane.
championship game is
That's insane.
quite an accomplishment. He's an all-time player, and he always gets a cast around him that gets him there, even if they look a little yucky along the way.
Yeah.
2-part question, Luke. Number 1, are you still a Dolphins fan?
he's the way. I'm the one
Yes,
you should
yes.
ask. That
Yes.
Luke's better than I
Second
am.
You're treating him like he's a commentator on Let's Eat South Florida. What's happening here?
Second part of the question, why?
Like you said, why?
It's better than being a Jet fan.
There you go. And
Good
that's
for
an
you.
acceptable
Yeah.
answer. Eric, Jets fan over there. Let's just throw things at him because that's the one thing we could take away from this season. Oh wait, we can't because the Jets beat us in the last
They
game.
did.
Well, wait a minute. Eric can't be there.
We got a better draft pick, so
Eric
Your buddy Eric can't be there because there would be a hand reaching in.
No,
Grabbing
he's
stuff
better
off
in the
his
break.
plate, if he
The
was there.
pumpkin cheesecake looks pretty
He's
darn
under
good.
restraint.
Oh, it says
Not pumpkin,
Reese's
it's
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Peanut
Well, it
butter.
looks a little bit orangish to me, but it
They look beautiful. It
the
looks ridiculous.
crust on it looks ridiculous.
It
I'm
looks
going to wait
amazing.
till the third and final segment. Do we have any thoughts about the?
Well, okay,
I
let me
guess-
ask you.
what-
Let me
go
ask
ahead.
Luke. I'm the Dolphin fan that's negative. He's a Dolphin fan that's positive. Okay, so no major. Again, we don't know what the offseason hasn't even started yet. We're already in offseason mode. It hasn't started. We still have the conference championships and then the Super Bowl. But teams that made changes at the top already made those changes.
no,
I know you. I know where you stood, but the fact that the season ended the way it did, they ended under 500 for the first time in Mike McDaniel's tenure. They didn't make the playoffs for the first time. Were you shocked that no changes were made?
no, I didn't want as a fan, as a.
The
I'm not
same fan.
emotional. I'm not emotional.
As
So-
an analyst, as an
As an
unemotional
analyst, okay.
analyst.
He plays it very
Unemotional was the
objective,
word that
actually, I'll give you
I'm
that,
looking
yeah.
at. I always go by players play, coaches coach.
Okay.
So when we won 11 game and everybody was like Mike McDaniel was this great offensive innovator, yada 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 yada, he's still the same guy.
Yeah.
The key to the entire thing to me is you missed the playoff by a game, let's say 2.
Yeah.
Because we lost the last one. But your quarterback missed 6.5.
Yep.
Right, and they didn't have a capable backup.
Okay, what do you do?
No,
Agree?
hold
So
on,
you don't have
hold on,
issue
hold on,
agree
hold on,
either.
hold on. Let's say this. No one has a capable backup.
Yeah, that's the thing we forget here in Miami.
Exactly. But because if you
If
pay
Mahomes doesn't play, they're not the same.
exactly. If you're paying the quarterback the numbers that you're paying them,
Yeah.
you're
They
not going
usually
to have
play.
a backup quarterback, making close to the same amount.
Well, that's something
So,
people brought up when
that's
you look at
Basic.
the teams that won. Their quarterbacks played.
They stay healthy.
Yeah.
But if we go back and we say Mahomes been in the AFC Championship for the last 7 years,
Yeah.
Mahomes is healthy.
Yeah, he always plays.
Buffalo's Buffalo because Josh Allen
Well,
is healthy.
Lamar Jackson always plays. He's
but you
skinny
think
and all that.
Tua-
He
The
always
year he
plays.
doesn't play,
They get. Yeah, they
tank.
miss. Yeah.
Do you think Tua should have gotten the contract that he got,
Yeah, what do
and
you do with
B
that?
is
Yes.
the quarterback of the future that can lead this team to
Yes,
the promised
but
land? Okay,
again,
you are really a fan.
My issue
so
with
much for
Tua is this,
dispassionate
but it's the
observer.
decision making, and I always go back to he's
He's keeping the faith, Defoe.
No,
this
he's-
is
no,
rattling
I'm
to me.
just
You can't
being-
blame him. I mean, let him
Like,
enjoy
he
it.
said that the guy was healthy. He led the league in passing,
Yes,
but
yes,
you
yes.
can't make dumb decision as I'm gonna run into this running back with my head forward.
So doesn't that give you pause that he keeps making the same I don't want to say mistakes, but he's keeps
No,
rolling the dice in the same way.
That's not true though. The first injury
The
was
injuries
the
this
head.
year weren't.
The second one, was he got caught on the hip. But
God,
it
there's
is
no
what it
cure
is.
for
Well, I'm
this
just
guy.
curious.
It's not a cure. I'm an objective fan. I can't be emotional.
Objective fan.
I
This is a
can't be
team that hasn't
emotional.
won. Let's see. Okay, let's go
No,
back.
it's over
But
20
so
years.
has-
2025 years. Even the Washington. Oh,
And
by
I
the
was
way,
wrong. The Browns have won a
Let's say
playoff game.
this.
You were
Let's say
right. The
this.
Browns
Hold
have
on,
won a
hold on,
playoff
hold
game.
on.
I'm talking
Even
about.
though if they won a playoff game, if you don't win a Super Bowl,
Who cares?
so what?
Yeah, or at least get to a conference. You want to get out of the.
I was going
Okay,
to
let me-
To me,
mention
it
a
doesn't make a difference.
team
It
that
doesn't make
hasn't,
me a difference if I'm winning championship or not.
that's still alive. That this just in by executive order. I just heard that the Washington football game. We must refer to them as the
Oh, the
Redskins
Redskins.
again. That is a new
Jesus.
executive order. It's just handed down by the
Oh
new
yeah,
president.
I did not hear that.
No,
one.
No,
that's
yeah.
not it.
Gulf of America and Redskins
There you go.
because. Well,
Okay,
you know
well, let
what?
me
No
ask you,
politics.
and
I'm
this
sorry.
is one place where we've been on this. I was, and Deepa knows, we were still on radio, and I was like fighting people about the Herbert Tua debate, which I think everyone's sort of gone quiet because both quarterbacks struggle
I still
or
take
aren't
Tua.
there. Yeah, no, I feel like I was right in that one actually because
I'll
Tua's
still
had
take
better
Tua.
stats and Tua's actually has a better record. I mean, he's actually always had less until the last 2-3 years. But even the injury thing is starting to frustrate me, and I blame the offensive line, but. What do you do with that? Because we all agreed, right? The teams that are winning, their quarterbacks play. Tua now, outside of 1 year, has missed almost more than a quarter of every season. Do you now have reservations of him long term because of that?
The NFL is not a long-term league.
Okay, so no one's long term.
you know what I mean? Unless you're Mahomes or Allen, Lamar Jackson, those
That's
really,
really
really
it.
MVP guys.
That's really it.
You look at everyone that has a long-term contract. For goodness sake, Aaron Rodgers was an all-time great.
Yeah.
And they, Green Bay moved on from him to go to Jordan Love.
I have a
So-
stupid hypothetical that I'm going to ask Defo first and then to you, Luke. Given the choice of having Tua and Tyreek as your quarterback wide receiver tandem, or Cam Ward and Jeremiah Smith, who would you rather have right now?
I'll take the proven commodity. Sorry.
Oh, I probably would agree with you.
Those guys have a lot to
And I would say, and I will tell you why. Because I watched last year's draft, and I watched Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
as the best prospect that came out of college as a receiver.
Yeah,
in a
no one
long
heard about
time,
him at all.
and did nothing.
Neighbors had a way better year, and he had a worse
Exactly.
quarterback.
And he did nothing.
Are you?
Yeah.
But are you impressed with this Jeremiah? Because
Well,
I think he's just
he's insane. He's not a human
unbelievably
being.
talented.
No,
and
But you still
Hollywood,
don't know.
But again,
promenade product.
It's a whole new level when you get into the
Yeah.
NFL. These grown men,
Yeah, but to dominate the way he did as a true freshman against some of the
I-
top flight
Oh, no,
college
it's impressive.
again, I just watched Marvin Harrison do some of the same things at Ohio
Right.
State.
You did.
You know what I mean? And he
All
gets
right.
to Arizona, and it's like, where is he?
Do you
There's a
think?
lot
All
that
right,
goes into it, yeah.
let's wrap up the Miami season, the Hurricanes, and where do you stand on? If you had given a choice of an ACC game and you could choose your coach, Mario Cristobal
You love giving him.
or Bill Belichick.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, it's true. He is an ACC coach now. That's so weird.
Yeah, but
That weirds me out.
right now, let me see the product first, because
Yeah.
it's a whole new ball game in college than when you got these pros playing for you. So
Yeah.
I might have to say Mario Cristobal right now.
Are you bullish on next year? I mean, and now Cam Ward going out. All
Well,
that stuff.
they just got
They
Carson
brought him
back.
Yeah, they brought him back.
Okay.
They got Carson back, so they do have a quarterback, and they have a new defensive coordinator that's promised to be way more aggressive with the defense. So
I mean, that guy does look scary.
we'll see. Exactly.
That guy looks like a freaking
the
lunatic.
issue was always with the defense. with the kid. That guy looked like he doesn't play that.
No, that guy's nuts. Which is what you want from a DC.
And finally, as I polish off this
The
jambalaya,
jambalaya
that I
is so
can't stop
ridiculous.
eating.
I know we moved off the food for a second, but
No,
it's so amazing. Like it's
Crap.
it's really
We're
good.
going to destroy all this. Then we're going to get to the Reese's
Peanut butter.
peanut butter
Cheesecake.
cheesecake. Thank you. Defo, let's do prediction time because we do have our football expert on hand today. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? We got the championship games this week.
Kansas City.
I tell you who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the two dogs,
Mhm.
Buffalo and the Commanders. Would be kind of fun to see that.
Default.
Always root
Can't
for the best
deny-
story.
Remember, he's not a
Buffalo.
Dolphin fan.
It doesn't.
No, this is. I mean,
Florida
Kansas
guy now.
City.
And he's a
I'd like
gambler,
to see
too.
a little change. I'd like to see Josh Allen get in there. I think he's a real good guy. Everything I see of him.
Oh, I
is
love
very-
Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I
You
think
would
the
say
rivalry. It's kind of like the Jet Dolphin rivalry. After a while, indifference sets in because neither team was all that relevant. So. With the Bills, I wouldn't mind seeing them finally get over that threshold and get to the championship. And Philadelphia's defense, well, we let Vic Fangio go, and not much was made of that. It seemed like, okay, the old man had
Yeah, but
his principles were in the Stone Age.
The defense was better. But
His defense in Philadelphia, I think, has carried them through the fact that Jalen Hurts does not seem to be the same
well,
guy. So
well,
if you're looking at Philadelphia, a lot of that is Fangio.
the guy that's carrying them with number 26.
I was gonna say, well, I would say Barkley and the deep. I mean, the defense has played really well.
He is my
especially since
favorite
last
player
year
to
they fell
watch.
off, and Barkley's
my favorite
legit.
player to watch football.
So you say Casey all the way? That's going to be
You don't
Casey
even
against
think
Philly?
it matters?
I'm cheering for Philly.
No,
I love Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
He is my favorite football player to watch ahead of Mahomes. I just watch him run the football.
He's got the home team's chalk eating
Yes,
guy.
I'm going Kansas City, Philly.
I'm with Defoe. I always root for the best story as a sports writer. The best story is Buffalo trying to win their first
the
one.
Commanders.
And the Commanders with the,
Oh, that's like a rematch of what?
I think about this, Luke. You would have the pleasure, Luke, of seeing Buffalo go 0-5 in Super Bowl.
Dominating the league.
How great would that be?
Defoe brings up a good point. He's like, if you hate the Bills, don't you want to see them get there and then lose again?
And then
No, not at all.
be digging up Marv Levy, and wheeling him out there.
Is he still alive, by the way?
That's a good
Dead or
question.
alive?
Levy, I want to say checked out. I'm going to say no. Marv Levy
I would
dead.
say yes.
I'm going to
feel like
say
he's still
that he was dead in his last 2 years coaching.
No, Jesus.
Bills. I'm sorry. Given that
Who am I rooting for? I can't root. I'm with Luke. Where I
can't root
talked
for
about this
Buffalo.
last week. I still have Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, James
Agreed.
Lofton in my
Traumatized
head.
my childhood.
I can never root for them.
Agreed.
Never. I could pick them like last week. Last week I said, look, the Ravens. Everyone loves the Ravens. Going into Buffalo in January.
Yeah.
Believe me, we know it's just something to.
not an easy
No, remember
thing.
it's Kansas City. They're playing Kansas City. So
Yeah,
Well-
but that being said, though, they were there to win their football game.
no. What do you mean? Jackson had 3 turnovers, and it's still
They
was
were
close
still
at the end.
there.
Yeah. But anyways, that's just why I picked Buffalo, because it's just, again, I saw it firsthand. And
I agree.
Marino going in there in January is hard. So I feel the Chiefs with Mahomes, and then the Eagles. Just the run game and the defense, I think, is too much for the Commanders.
Again, Defoe and I agree. Best story, Buffalo, Washington.
I think he's alive. He's
but the
99.
real story
He's
is
alive.
going to be Kansas City, Philadelphia.
Marv
because
Levy's alive.
that's-
He's 99 years old.
God
Good for
bless
him.
So they
Yeah.
might wheel him out to coach
You
again.
think- Who's going to win the last longer bet? Will he make it past
Oh,
100?
Jesus.
And is it going to be Jimmy Carter or Marv Levy? Because
Carter got to 100. Right?
100 plus
Carter got
2.
to 100. I'm going to say
100
Marv Levy
months.
because he's not in hospice.
Yeah, I think he's
That's
fine.
true. All right, let's take our second break, and then we will be back with more. Maybe we'll talk about the cheesecake next segment, because we've beaten this football thing to death, but that's okay. All right, we'll be back with more on
Final
the
football
Lunchbox
segment of the year.
from Luke's. We'll maybe
We'll
talk
talk Super Bowl when we get
the
back.
draft. All right, after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and all right, we're back on the Lunchbox at Luke's, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Speaking of Gilbert's, we're going to be there tomorrow.
Nice.
Lenore and Beth and the whole Gilbert family. We love it out there. They got great burgers and so much more. And we're going to be a little bit earlier start tomorrow because we're going to be starting about 12:45. So hopefully that you're feeling in better health tomorrow, Defo, and come out for one of those beautiful.
Should be down there. Yeah, I really would love to be at Luke's today, though, because everything he presented looked amazing. And what's even more phenomenal is that to get a bowl of chili like that and not have to look at it over spaghetti is
It's a real treat.
phenomenal. I mean, that's the way it should be.
And I destroyed everything in my path today, and all the good I did.
I don't think Lubie got a bite in there. Did you?
I tried. I actually was stealing food and putting it on the plate because I could see where things were going.
But again, all the calories I burned this morning have now been replenished and then some. I just had during the break that
I'm about to move that too because you already
peanut
took a
butter
piece, but I
cup.
see your
Is it
eyes.
Reese's Pieces that you have in here too?
Oh, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's
Good
Pieces
move.
cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm moving this. I don't trust
Do
you. even a
you
little.
do the baking, or
Oh,
is that a
wow.
Roxy production? Or
No, we do it in the kitchen.
you do it all?
Yeah.
Because the crust is pretty darn good. You know, it's,
I just think it's, and I said this to Luke off air just because I knew how it sounded, but I wanted to get his clearance on it because, and I love things with peanut butter. I do. My wife doesn't because a lot of the time the peanut butter, especially sweets like peanut butter ice cream, even someone who loves peanut butter, I don't need it to just be peanut butter.
Mhm.
So when you get a peanut butter pie, I've never had peanut butter cheesecake. You would presume that would be overwhelming. You bite this and it feels like a conflict to say this out loud, but it's not overwhelming. It's peanut butter and it's light. It's a light peanut butter cheesecake, which it seems like an oxymoron, but
Fluffy.
it works really well and it's fantastic.
I think the key, because I am also a peanut butter lover, so I know, not to be overwhelming, because I'm like, would I eat this? And as I'm tasting, I'm like, okay, this is good balance. This is where we need to be.
Balance, perfect word.
So you could enjoy the peanut butter flavor, and then the caramel that we put on top. Make sure it's a nice blend.
Are
for
you?
dessert.
I'm gonna ask Defo because he's at home and he can't touch this cheesecake. Are you more of a cake and pie guy or an ice cream guy?
Mm.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's a
me?
tough one.
Okay.
I would say equal favoritism to both.
That's an interesting
Okay,
question.
because I know Luke is probably cakes and pies based on what I tasted.
Not
No,
really.
no.
I'm not a sweet guy at all. I don't do
Oh,
dessert much at
Oh,
all.
okay.
But
You're a very sweet guy.
I like a cheesecake.
Yeah, the cheesecake is good.
I'm
I-
a cheesecake fan.
It was good. I went back to the Block 40 food hall. Our friend Steve
Oh, nice.
DePuzzo in Hollywood last night. I brought Eric there because we were talking about that great chicken sandwich. And then our friend Constantine, who runs the Hollywood Creamery ice cream shop, was there a little bit later on. So after we had our meals, went to see him, and I had that great Biscoff, the biscotti flavor.
Oh, that was fantastic.
And the coffee crunch, and also talk about creamy. I'm sorry, Luke. Look, this is great cake.
Yeah.
Love your key lime pie. I love your bread pudding, but I'm an ice cream whore. I mean, I just need, you know.
I don't know. It's weird. I agree with Devo because it depends on it's almost a mood kind of a thing. Because I love a great cheesecake, but there's something about ice cream. You know, like it just depends. Like what
But
day or
especially
time
if
it
you're
is, I
at
guess.
home, like yes,
Yeah.
definitely it's ice cream. You could kill that all
It's just
day.
easier,
But
yeah.
if you're out, you know,
If you're out, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Because get
Yeah,
something.
if I'm at a restaurant, I don't want ice cream.
and because
Exactly.
baking
that's
is
weird.
such
ice cream will win that battle every day.
Yeah,
baking
yeah,
is
yeah.
a science and it's a labor
Yes, I hate
intensive
it.
process. So
I
you know
hate it.
what? You're right. I could eat ice
It's too
cream
easy.
at
That's what it is.
home,
It's too easy.
and I should go.
Ice cream is the number one comfort food per se.
Yeah,
just
it brings
binge on
everybody
that.
back to childhood.
Exactly.
And
so it will win. You know, if we talk about it at home, it will win that award every day.
Right.
Just go in the fridge, grab your tub. Go in the fridge, grab your tub. You know, when you talk about cakes and pies, now okay, how old is it? How this is it? You know,
Yeah.
that makes a
Where was it
difference.
made? People
It's
always ask.
all
Yeah.
good. Oh man!
Three
All right,
words,
we did
a
Yep.
la mode. That would be the
Yeah.
way to go.
There you
That's
go.
the move.
best
Bring
of
the
both
worlds
worlds.
together.
Best of both worlds.
I do like that, especially like one of those. You do like that apple crisp
Yeah.
in one of those copper skillets
With
or
that like French
iron
vanilla,
skillets,
French vanilla ice cream.
and then you throw
Scoop of
some
ice cream in there.
on top of that. Oh,
ridiculous.
I'm in heaven, literally, because I'll be dead soon. But all right, let's take our third and final break.
Were you a
before-
fan, Mayo, of the hot apple pie when it came out at McDonald's? Because
Oh,
what was great about that was, I mean, it would
McDonald's
burn both the top and you know of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, and your tongue. There
So
was
the
not one
answer-
that wasn't like 1,000 degrees when it was served.
I was never a McDonald's apple pie guy for two reasons. Number one, there was usually a Carvel right around the block from McDonald's. And being the ice cream junkie, I would always go to Carvel. Number two, when I did develop a palate and I tasted the McDonald's apple pie, it was just way too sweet. That gloppy apple syrup
Never
in the
had it.
middle
Oh,
is
never really?
just.
Never had.
It's probably why I'm a type 2 diabetic. Today. So that's it.
By the way, Sheldon G with an update. He's absolutely right. It was Mrs. Paul's fish sticks.
Yeah, I was going to say Mrs.
Paul's,
Gordon's is
right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Mrs. Paul's fish sticks. Thank you for bringing back that horrific childhood. memory. Fish cakes here at Luke, so much
Very
better.
different,
All right, let's take the third and final break. Before we do, some big games coming up. Valentine's Day coming back. I forgot to ask you. Friday night, Valentine's Day. You
Yes,
got
sir.
any special menu or any kind of specials going, or it's just another night of love, good mood, good food?
Probably another night of good food, good mood. But
Yep.
you know, we'll have some nice stuff on the specials list.
All right, that's good. Delaware Chicken, if you want to stay home for some of these games, have a party. It's right there on 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, not too far from here. And it is the place to go for the freshest in fish, stone crabs, shrimp. Could make yourselves a nice party platter. And they also have all this great grab and go food, including their roasted chicken, their dips, the sausages, all these things. Go online today to DelawareChicken.com to sign up for their weekly newsletter and get all their specials. And they're open 7 days a week. When you go in there, tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take the third and final break. We'll be back to wrap up this edition from Luke's after these words. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to BashSouthernKitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and Hey, we're back on the Lunchbox at Luke's, and Defo, have we got a treat for you? We gave Lubie the boot. We got Luke over here, and here we're going to have an unpaid testimonial having lunch right behind us.
Oh, great.
Patrice from New Jersey.
Yes.
Welcome to the Lunchbox, Patrice.
Welcome.
Well, this is our co-host, Defo. He's sick at home today, but
Hey, Patrice.
say what you said over here. Like, what did you think of your lunch here at Luke's?
The food was very, very good, nice and fresh, delicious. I had the coconut shrimp as an appetizer. I had the fish and chips, and my sister had the fish with the string beans.
Mm-hmm.
And we had key lime pie and the chocolate mousse. Everything was tasty, delicious, and fresh and good. Cooked well. Not
Look at
greasy, nothing. It was just delicious.
She's angling for my old job as the food critic at the Sun Sentinel, Patrice from New Jersey. This is an unpaid testimonial,
Yes,
folks. This
unpaid.
means person
I'm
that just
doing it willingly.
came in. How did you hear about or find Luke's, considering you're from New Jersey, right?
My sister lives down here, and we was looking for something to eat, and so she Googled and she found it,
Google.
and we came here.
That's
Google do its job.
incredible. Does she
Yes.
live a little bit out west here in the
She live in
plantations?
Davie.
Davie, yeah, and that's it.
Yes.
That's my pitch to you for people. Even if you live east, it's worth coming out here
Mhm.
for
Yes.
for the great lunch dinner 7 days. You got the brunch. No, not brunch on Sunday.
6 days.
Keep getting that wrong. It's lunch on Sunday.
Lunch on Sundays.
You got it.
Okay, we
Pretty
might
soon
be
we're,
back.
we're trying to open for dinner also. So
Luke is
we'll
the
be on there on Sunday
man.
also.
Luke is the man, and
Yes.
this place again, Davie. And so, if you're in Plantation, if you're in Pembroke Pines, and you
Cooper
don't want to,
City.
this fresh seafood is, even though you think you're in South Florida, a good seafood restaurant is hard to find. So when you
Yes.
find one as good as this, and did you know the motto here? It's right on his shirt. You see it,
What it
Patrice?
says?
You see what it says?
Good food, good mood.
That's what it is. And are you in a good mood now?
Yes, I am.
Oh, even after talking with me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Mission accomplished,
Somebody
Lubie.
like you, Mike.
We're going to be back tomorrow at Gilbert's, Friday at our usual Friday fun place at Gulfstream 10 Palms. Luke, you did it, my man.
We did.
Yes,
You
did
are
do it.
obviously
Thank you
you've
very
wowed
much.
us and me a long time ago, but to see these smiling faces and new happy customers,
I say all the time,
you
this
will
is why
come
we
back,
do it.
right?
Yes.
Would you recommend it to others?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
Okay,
if
there you go,
I might be
Patrice.
back before
Where
I
in Jersey?
leave.
What exit?
I'm from
Sorry.
Jersey City, exit 14.
Oh yeah, exit. That's
She
the
told you
turnpike
what
exit.
exit.
Thank you. I love Jersey City. I'm a New Yorker, Brooklyn
okay.
originally. So give my regards up there and try to
I
stay
sure
warm.
will.
I'm sorry that the weather is not a little bit sunnier
Yeah,
and warmer
no,
here,
it's
but
cold.
it's all good.
No,
From
this is
Jersey.
nice. It's nice
This is
down
nice,
here.
right?
This
Yeah.
is nice because we
That's what I
got
said.
19 and 8 and 7 at night, so
Woo!
it's nice here.
All good. Are you a football fan?
Yes, I like Dallas though.
Dallas. All right. Well, they're done for the year.
Yeah,
He's a
I know
Dolphins
that.
fan.
That's all right.
No, it's kind of
See?
sad.
There we
actually.
go. See? We really don't like you, Mike.
I don't even know. I don't even have a team. I just like ragging on all the Dolphins fans and Giants and Jets fans and all that stuff. All right, Lubie, thank you for all your help.
Thank you.
Defo, thank you. I hope you feel
Thanks, Defo.
better.
I'm feeling good. Yeah, just looking at that food. You know what's great? It's almost like it's smell-o-vision because I can sense the aromas that come out of Luke's.
Oh,
'Cause
that-
I have him indelibly impressed every time I've gone in there. It's been amazing.
Jambalaya is great. I love the fish cake special and the chili. I mean, I'm gonna say, if I'm in the mood for chili, I guess I should drive right past Skyline, go further down University Drive,
And
into
come on
Davie,
right on down.
Come on down.
By the way,
Okay,
Yep.
bye-bye. Take care.
Oh, he's gone. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And for now, enjoy every chili, enjoy every fish cake, and
Yes.
enjoy every
And
sandwich.
stop by Luke's.
There you go. Ooh, she's good.